All right, this is the next video of Saving Debbie, and since we last talked, I've put fuel in the tank, and I've been sitting here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't see any leaks, so I'm kind of amazed by that. Oftentimes when these things leak, you try and fix them, and they just never get any better, but this one did. So I've got all my linkages in place, my self-priming mechanism. I got my linkage to the automatic governor, which is right there, that little metal piece down there. And it connects back this way, and that's where the governor is. That's where it links back into the engine, is at the end of that lever there. So now I've got to install from my old parts laying around here a air cover. So I've got that, and took a toothbrush and ran around that, and got an air filter which tested with a flashlight, and I think it's okay, it's acceptable. And we're going to install that and see if this mower is going to run. I've got just enough fuel in it to check for leaks. I may put some more in it before we test it to see if it's going to run, and find out if it's going to smoke like crazy or not. So this, as you know, goes on like that. It's going to, there's a pin here and a pin there, and it goes, those pins go in that hole and in that hole. And then this connects to the crankcase ventilation. So I'm going to try to get this on. So put the little pins in the holes, and then mush that hose on. That doesn't look like it was made to fit that. Let's see. Okay, that's on there. It is flush up against this tank here, but I mean it's close. But I think if I tighten it down with the little screws, everything will be okay. I don't think that tank is original to this mower, but it may be all right. We'll try it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see, I've got the plate there on, but it is actually rubbing against that tank. But I don't think it's enough to cause a problem, but we'll find out. So be patient with me. I've got to find the screws that attach this on. I didn't take this off here because I didn't have it. So I've got to find some screws that will work with that. I may have some laying around. I think that's one right there. Set it there. And then I think this is another one. The threads look okay on those. Let me set them here and just get a wire brush and hit them a couple of times and see if it's maybe going to go in or not. These have 5/16. I don't like the way that one looks at all. It's messed up. So it has some kind of gack on there. All right, let me try another one. See, there's another one right there. I think it's the right size. So let me see if I can get this started with a 5/16. And see if it's going to be a problem for that tank or not. I don't think it is. We'll find out. All right, so got that one started. Got this one started. You can kind of look at it and see if it's going to line up. So I'm looking at it, and it seems to be okay. I don't know. Are they going in there? No, not yet. There we go. It's a tight fit, but it seems like it's going on there. That crankcase tube is popped off, so I'm going to push it back on. Now I'm going to do this one. Okay. I usually put the 2 screws that connect the carburetor on before I tighten these up all the way, but I'm going to get this tight. It may not be sealing well enough. I'm going to back this one out. See if this one will go in a little further now. No, that's all we're gonna get. Okay, that's not a great seal, but it may be that when I put the carburetor screw in, it'll pull it in a little bit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm afraid there's going to be an air leak right there. See that gap? That's supposed to be flush. And I got that one tight. And I went on that side tight. And I think it may be that it's not allowed it to be tight because of that piece right there. Let me set the phone down. I think I may be able to just shape that with, like a file or something. I don't think it'll hurt if I do that. So let me get these screws out and see what we're dealing with here. The other thing I could do is put the other type of air filter cover on here that might fit this better. Let me see if I've got one. Hang on, guys. Now this takes the paper filter, and I may be able to find one that has it takes the foam filter that may fit on there better. I'm going to find out. Let's see. Maybe a flat one. I got plenty of these self-priming plates. I'm gonna have to get out a new one, I guess. That's a filter. Let's see. There we go. No, that's filters too. Filters. Oh. No, maybe this one is. They're all kind of the same. Okay, this one's a little different. Let's see if this goes on. Oh, okay. I think that may work. Okay, I'll show you the difference. See this? That looks the same as that, roughly, except for, this is different. But here's the big difference. This little gap here versus that little gap, see that? So this is not going to fit that. This will. So let's put this on. And everything seems to be lining up pretty good here. So that is sliding on real good. And it's not rubbing up against the tank, it's just going on. So that's a great thing right there. Make sure I'm still looking at the mower because I just hit my stand. All right, so all right, hang with me. I've got to find the little screws that attach this plate to the carburetor because I want to get those started first. Maybe I've got some laying around here, but I don't think so. I'm gonna go find some parts. Hang on. Okay, I think I will find in here the little screws that I need. Okay, there's the outer screws. And there's some. Here's two of the little screws that hold the carburetor on. And they are 9/32. And I'm going to use just a 1/4-inch drive socket here to get them started. I'm going to make sure they're lined up. I'm visually looking at that just to see if it's lining up with the little holes, and it appears that it is. Get that one started. And then get this one started down here. Yep, so those are going in like they should. And I'm going to look at the little gap here. Show you what I'm doing. Remember how I was concerned about that air gap? You can kind of see it. Hang on. I'm using this butter knife, see that right there? That air gap. Now, it should close as I tighten this screw. We're going to watch it together. Okay, you see that? That's closed now. Now I'm going to do the other side. And it should snug up, because you don't want any air coming in there. And that one's snugged up there. Unfortunately, the little holes in this carburetor are not stripped. Okay, now, I think I can probably put my little 5/16 screws in here. So the two 9/32, I just put in, go there and there on the inside of this kind of oval paper filter. They're going to be under that. And then these screws are going to be on the outside of the paper filter. And that's going to be a 5/16, and it looks like the holes are lining up. Let me see that right there. So that's good. Let's see. So that one's going in. And I need another one just like that. Where did they go? Where did they go? I had it in my hand. How weird is that? I just had that screw in my hand. Let me look over here. There, okay. I found it. Okay, so got that big screw there started, and now I'm going to do the other 5/16 over here, get it started. I'm going to have to set the phone down because that's not lining up. You're going to have to use two hands. And you have to push that little, metal plate to get it to line up. Yep. It's not lined up at all. Somebody's bent this thing way out. The truth is, why is that thing that wonky? See if I can push on it. No, that's not going to work. Needs something a little longer and a little stiffer. Maybe this file. Pushing on this metal bracket, so it's been pushed out of the way. It's not in line anymore. Maybe if I push on it while I'm do you not even have that in the hole? Yeah, it's on there. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and remove all this because that's not lining up with that bracket. So I'm taking out my carb screws. Oh, that's the wrong socket. I'm taking out the two little screws that hold the carb on. I've either got to bend this thing back or maybe install it first. So that's coming off. Oh, okay. There we go. It was, let me show you what was going on there. It was binding right in there with those two little plastic prongs. Was pushing up again and pushing that out. So the carburetor was pushing that out. So now you can see how that pushes in. So I think it'll work now. Let's try it again. See how everything lines up with this plate, which seems to fit. Unlike that other one. Sometimes these things look like they're universal, but they're not. Oh yeah, that looks much better. So I can see that screw now, that screw opening. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in first since it was so tricky the last time. And get it going, so I'm pushing it in at the same time that I'm, there we go. So that is excellent. And now I need to find my other little 5/16 screw for the other side. I'm not snugging these up because I need to start the screws that actually attach the carburetor to this plate. And that is the 9/32 socket. And where did it go? There it is on the end of my electric drill. Alright, so now I'm putting these in, and they look like they're lining up real nice. Yep, that's going in good. And now the next one. Okay, now I'm going to tighten these. This is the way I like to do it. I'm tightening these, and then just hand tighten, because you're just going into plastic on these carburetors. Don't go crazy with your electric drill or your socket wrench. Just hand tighten, okay? And now I can do the same thing with the outside ones, and they are the 5/16. I'm gonna get these, and again, they're just going into Now these are going into metal, so if you want to go crazy, you can go a little bit crazy, but you don't have to over tighten this stuff. All right, so there is, so that's tight, and we know those two are tight. Now we get to slip a filter on here. Let me check again with the little flashlight, make sure I'm getting the light out of this thing. Oh yeah, that's a good filter. Got some spider webs or something on there. Go ahead and take that off. So that slips on there like that. Now the question is this cover gonna fit, or is it gonna be wrong because this is a different plate? It appears to be lining up. I don't see it binding anywhere, but it's not snapping shut. Let's see, that's in the right spot. It is not clipping closed, people. It's so close though. Let me try coming at it like this. See if they would go on like that. I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take this little file here and take off some of these sides. That it attaches to. I don't need it to necessarily. It just has to be enough to hold it in place. Try it again now. It doesn't really want to attach, so let me try one of the other covers. Well, I don't have any other covers, so this one's gonna have to do. Anyway, I'm going to fool around with that a little minute, and we'll check back with you guys.